ghostly dust of violence faces everything. When the gas runs out, just wreck it and you insure the thing. I don't need to walk around in circles, walk around in circles, walk around in circles, walk around and don't need to walk around in circles, walk around in circles, walk around in circles, walk around and but I can't sign out that you made the move. It has gone and gone to dog.
We are heading to Reno today. Somebody just farted. It stinks. Dappers guy. They're always silent but deadly. As you can see, it's a beautiful sunny day in the high desert. We are about 30 miles east of Lovelock, about 15 miles east of Rye Patch. Jared's gonna work some overtime tonight, and tomorrow I'm gonna do some DoorDash. We charged up overnight on the free charger, and we are gonna get out to, I think, Studio 6 and get back on another free charger. I'll hop in the Tesla with Jared. It's 11:33 in the morning. I was up about 6 o'clock because the alarm on my cell phone started going off for some reason. And that woke me up. I had to go to the bathroom anyway, so I walked over to the casino, and their bathrooms were closed for cleaning, so I had to walk all the way back over by the vehicles and then to the hotel next door. I was able to go to the bathroom there. I grabbed a cup of coffee as well.
No. TV sent a reel to you. Do you want to reply?
No.
All right.
I don't have a clue what that was. I've got this tracker on my phone when I'm driving. I can't touch my phone. So yeah, I'm gonna try to make some money this weekend. I took last weekend off because I didn't have my husband with me. This weekend we're taking both vehicles because I can't sleep in the back of that Tesla. It just doesn't work for me. maximize what we can make. And I guess it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to get a hotel room and try to make money doing DoorDash, because I mean, essentially it'd be going towards the room if I paid for a room. So it doesn't make much sense for me to do that. I'm trying to pay down my debt. Not trying to just have a luxurious weekend away from my kid. Trying to make money. There's a lot of places in Winnemucca that are hiring, but without doing DoorDash in the area a whole lot, because it's not very busy. It's not sustainable, really. I probably could have tried DoorDashing last night while I was in town, but my main goal was to charge up the car so that I was able to get a free ride out to Reno. Yeah, so if I was able to do more DoorDashing in like Winnemucca and determine what the restaurants are like out there, then maybe I could find a restaurant that I would want to work at. Probably the only ones that I can see, based on what I'm seeing on Indeed, would be like Jack in the Box or McDonald's, because I feel like they pay the most. Honestly, I prefer to have a remote job and work from home. I prefer to turn the Grady bunk room into a office for myself. It's gonna take some time until I can do that. It's too hot right now. We don't have air conditioning in there, and we really haven't been in that camper to inspect it, really. As a matter of fact, I noticed while Jared was gone that somebody had left the door wide open so that flies could get in and bugs, which annoyed the hell out of me. But it's like, it's whatever, because it's going to be boiling hot in there during the day with it closed now, so they'll all be dead when I come back to clean it up and get it situated for my teenager. But yeah, I'm waiting for temperatures to cool off to do that. I'm not going to start that project when it's 90 degrees out. It's just too hot. When we don't have air conditioning, we try to conserve our energy during the day and not overdo it. Finally cooling off to the point where I feel like I can comfortably do dishes and not like be dying, but the only way that I'm getting by is by using the Instant Pot to heat the water, because using the stovetop just heats up the entire camper, and it makes it, you know, it adds moisture, so it adds humidity, and it just makes it like really, really uncomfortably hot. So the Instant Pot works. I think we have like an 8-quart, and could be a 12-quart, I don't remember for sure. We use the Instant Pot for all kinds of stuff. We cook stuff in it, we boil water in it for dishes. It works. Here's Mill City. So I applied for a job at this truck stop here. The Travel America, the TA. They're paying $17 an hour. And that was like the highest paying job that I could find in the area, was all the way out here. It's crazy. I'm probably 50 miles away from home right now. We're looking at nearly 30 miles north of Winnemucca, and I think I'm like 20 miles outside of Winnemucca right now. I might be 30 miles outside of Winnemucca. So yeah, 120 miles round trip to get the highest paying job in town for someone that doesn't want to work at the mines. It's crazy. It is what it is. I've just come to the realization that pretty much any way that I work at this point, any way that I find employment, if it's not like remote from my home, then I'm going to be forced to drive somewhere else to make money. It is what it is. And I don't like the fact that I'm putting all these miles on the truck. This October we'll have had this truck for 2 years, and so what is that? I don't like a little bit over a month, and we've got nearly 50,000 miles on it. 49,955 miles. I've never driven a vehicle this much in my life. It's crazy. And I thought I did a lot of driving in West Michigan because I was constantly driving all over. At least the roads are in good shape here. The traffic is not usually a huge issue. Living in a town of 8,000, or outside of a town of 8,000 really doesn't produce that much traffic. A lot of the people that live in town work at the mines, and so they get bussed out and vanned out. It's crazy. So yeah, there's not a ton of traffic in town. There's not a ton of traffic on the highway here. We have not encountered a ton of construction. Every week we'll have a little bit of construction that we drive through, but there's not usually any backups because of it or anything like that. So last week, or not last weekend, sorry, 2 weekends ago was the last weekend that I did DoorDash in Reno area. And usually what I like to do is start around the Sparks Marina, because it's a good hot spot. They've got a lot of businesses right there, and usually those businesses are like ones that charge a little bit more for their stuff. It's not like fast food. I mean, there is some fast food there, but there's other businesses there as well. So in most cases, like the bigger the bill is, the more the tip is. That's kind of generally how they'll recommend a percentage of the bill or whatever for the tip. Or you can put in whatever you decide you want to tip. It's kind of up to you. If you're a douchebag, you're not going to tip, or you're just going to tip a couple bucks. The the 2 weeks that I door dashed in Reno during the weekend, it was very consistent. I was busy all day long. There was no wait for orders. I was averaging about 10 hours a day and making about $120 a day, $130 a day, something like that. So not the best pay, but you know, I'm not having to deal with being short-staffed. I'm doing something that I enjoy doing. I get to spend time with my husband, or at least I did. The last time I did it, because we were down to one car, but I think it'll probably be just as good having two vehicles. Especially since we're both currently getting free charge to get all the way out there, and then we can get a free charge to get all the way back. So it's really just about putting miles on the cars, and that's it. Hopefully that doesn't change. I mean, Jared got this Model S because he knew that he'd be able to charge it for free at work, and he knew that he'd be able to charge it for free in town, and that's saving him at least $5,000 a year in fuel prices. So it's beneficial for us to have this vehicle versus a gas vehicle, which we would have to pay to drive, essentially. He's trying to really point out some positive things to me, and he gets very serious about Tesla. He gets emotional about some of the stuff that he tells me. So no, I know that he wasn't intentionally trying to hurt me, but in his eyes, he thought that this car was like the best opportunity ever. It'll be kind of cool again this weekend on Sunday to come home through the Black Rock Desert, and I know that Jared won't be able to do that. He'll be forced to drive down I-80 like we are now. He's insisting that he's never going to take this car on a dirt road ever again. See. We will see. Probably don't need to do it, honestly. I saw it 2 weeks ago, and that road was really a pain in the neck. I wouldn't want to take it any faster. I guess going down once a year really is not too bad of a track record. Plus, the unfun thing about it is, like, any video that I took was just a pain in the neck because it was so bumpy. Like, it kept moving my camera. Like, this video has been pretty solid as far as I can tell. You're being able to see the scenery really good without having the camera jump around all over the place. Because I'm on pavement and not on a road that's got some really, really bad washboarding on it because it doesn't get maintained. Whatever county Gerlach is in, I don't know if it's Story County or Washoe. It might be Washoe County. They've just decided, no, there's no reason for us to maintain this road out here. Until you get to about Sulphur area, which is about where we are south of now. And you get into the Sulphur Mines, Highcroft Mine area, and then it's paved. It's not paved, sorry, it's maintained. Kind of like our road. Nice and flat and level. So I know that there's a lot of evacuations going on in Reno now because of the hog fire. 2 weeks ago they had a fire going on as well, and I can't remember what it was called, but I think one of them was there was multiple fires. One of them was the hog fire, and I think it was just starting, but there was another fire as well, and I can't think of what it was called, but I wasn't able to see it last time. I wonder what I'm going to be able to see today. I might not even take any orders that take me into that area, so I might not even see it. But from what I understand, it's like the northwest side of Reno, when usually I just kind of stay on like the east, like the south and east side of Reno, or stay in downtown area, or Sparks. I try to stay relatively close to Sparks. I don't like to go too much farther out, because then I feel like I'm using up too much energy, even though it's essentially all free. I'm trying to do this without having to pay to charge at all. Now, I did pay to charge earlier this week at Ayana. That got me, I think it was like $34 or something like that. I don't remember exactly how many kilowatt hours it was, but it was enough to get me a couple days at the ranch and put some power into the EcoFlow because we didn't have a whole lot of sun. It was mostly overcast. And got us out to the hot springs and the dump in Paradise Valley last night. And then back into town, 15 miles to spare. Try to keep what I spend on charging under like $50 a week, and so far I'm doing pretty good. I don't know, it's really hard for me to want to sit on that charger all day. So, because I mean, this thing takes forever to charge up. I swear it takes like 10 to 12 hours. And if I'm plugged in like overnight, I'll be running my CPAP, so I've got that plugged in, so it's using energy, so it takes even longer to charge. Because if you're running like air conditioning or you're running Pro Power on board and have things plugged into it, it's going to take longer to charge because you're consuming energy as you're bringing in energy. So I wish it did a little bit better on that aspect. I don't know, maybe I should consider getting some kind of like power bank or something that I could just plug the CPAP into and just charge the power bank up every day. I don't know if there'd be enough power on there to run that CPAP for 6 to 8 hours. Probably not. I feel like I'm not sleeping that many hours when I'm out here, but six is a good average, I think. Maybe some of my energy drink. So we're passing Rye Patch. For those of you that don't know about Rye Patch is there's a dam here, and it creates this body of water for like recreational purposes. People bring boats out here, they swim, they bring their dogs out here. It's a great place to hang out, but you got to be careful if you bring your dogs, because the water gets like algae bloom, and if your dogs drink the water, they'll get extremely sick. Because it's like standing water, essentially. Down there, which is not surprising. We haven't had a ton of rain. Very dry out here in the high desert. We had rain the other day though. I think it was on Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember. It was probably Tuesday. We had a very short shower while we were doing laundry in town, and it was just pouring. It's like, I don't remember seeing that in the forecast that it was going to rain today, but okay, that's how it is out here. Given day during the summer, if there's cloud cover, you could potentially get rain, even if there's not rain in the forecast, because it just kind of pops up. Thankfully, most days of the year are very, very clear and sunny and beautiful. It's a little hazy right now because of all the forest fires in the area, but it's not terrible. I've seen it worse. exit. That means we're about 15 miles outside of Lovelock. Like they're putting in a Terrible's casino over here, like a truck stop. But I haven't seen any signs indicating what it is, so I'm not positive. That's just kind of what it looks like based on the building architecture, I guess you could say. The style of building that they have here definitely looks like a travel center of some sort. But yeah, I don't see any signs. No signs. And there's a Chevron gas station right across the street from Rye Patch gas station. If you fill up your tank there, you get a free hot dog. Too bad they don't have any chargers. That's okay. Lovelock's got chargers. They should really have a level 2 charger though over at that Chevron at Rye Patch. They probably have more people stop there. Okay, Lovelock's 22 miles out. I was off by a few miles. 114 miles to Reno, 249 to Sacramento. The Black Rock Desert is essentially to the right of us, like past all these mountains. Maybe a little bit further west, actually. Because we haven't passed Lovelock yet. It's kind of wonky and weird because the highway doesn't go like one direction, even though it kind of looks like it does on the map. It looks like you're going east to, like, from east to west, but actually you're going like south to southwest the whole way. cruising at a 66 miles an hour, so that's why everybody looks like they're racing by us. The speed limit out here is 80. Wow. Did you see the dust devil? It just disappeared. Yeah, the speed limit out here is 80, and people are often going 85. This isn't like Michigan where everybody's going 10 over. You don't go 10 over out here. You'll get ticketed for that. My friend claims that you'll get ticketed for going 5 over. I have not seen that happen. My friend also says that you will get ticketed for going 5 under or 10 under. 15 under. Haven't seen that happen yet either. So, me not know. There's like 2 speed traps in town that I've got caught in. One of them is the school zone at the high school, and then the other one is just as you're heading north of town on 95. And I've gotten a warning each time. I don't know, I kind of am getting into the whole do laundry at this mega wash laundromat or whatever. I forget what street it's on, but I think it's in Sparks. I want to say it's on Addie Boulevard, but I don't think that's it. Everything is like you can pay through the app, which it makes it very convenient, because as long as Jared puts money on there for me, I can do the laundry and he can just sleep. Like, he doesn't have to worry about it. Right now we're currently caught up. We washed everything before we came out here, but yeah, they have a really nice park across the street that I enjoy walking at when it's like 8 a.m. or whatever, because it's comfortable still. Not interested in walking any later than that because it's just too damn hot out. I'm ready for November. It's crazy. I used to love summertime in Michigan, and I guess I still love it now. It's just kind of, it's rough when you don't have like a water source, so you can't like hose yourself off or anything like that, and you don't have air conditioning. It's a struggle. Summertime is like synonymous for struggle out here if you don't have all the resources that you need. And you know, I really like to go out to the creek, into the hot springs and all that. If I could do it all in one day, it's perfect. but I'm not doing that without my husband. Those are very remote areas that do not have cell service, and I feel like it's best for me to have somebody with me in case there's some kind of emergency. We had a guy approach us over at the hot springs last night in the most like respectful manner. It was so nice, actually. Not that people are really rude out there, but he has lived in Paradise Valley for quite some time, and he grew up near McDermott and knows all the people that are living on the reservation up there. And he said his name was Tony, but he kind of sat in his truck outside the entrance and gave us a couple minutes to like acknowledge the fact that there was somebody else coming in. And, you know, because a lot of times people are out there without their suits on. So if we go out there, we bring our suits with us, and if somebody shows up, then we just put them on real quick. But if it's just us, especially if it's dark out, I won't wear one. It's just, it doesn't bother me anymore. I don't really care, because there's nobody else out to see it. If there's somebody else there, I'll have my bathing suit just in case. But if we go to the creek, I always have my suit, because there's almost always people there. No, I don't take that back. I take that back. There's not always people there, but it's a pretty frequent thing. Like, not to mention the fact that the hot springs is private property and the creek is like county property, so it's like public property, so to speak. You have more people coming to the creek than you do the hot springs. For example, people will go out to the creek with their off-road vehicles and their side-by-sides and stuff. They don't really do that out at the hot springs. At least I haven't seen that happen yet. Usually if people are at the hot springs, it's in a truck or a off-road vehicle or there's been a couple of times we've seen trucks pulling campers out there at the hot springs as well. And I don't know, I think the hot springs is probably, it's known by the locals, but it's also like something that isn't too difficult to find if you're not a local and you're just passing through the area looking for hot springs, which is a thing. Like, I didn't know that was a thing living out in Michigan until I moved out here. Like, there's hot spring enthusiasts that are all over the western part of the U.S. looking for hot springs. Yeah, so this guy, he approached, and he was very respectful about it. He waited for us to get bathing suits on, and then when he pulled up, he didn't pull all the way up to the tub. He got out of his vehicle and asked if it was okay if he got in, and we were like, yeah, you know, we didn't have a problem with it. We had our bathing suits on, and we were trying to warm up the water, because when we got out there, it was just after the sun had set, and somebody had shut the water off for the day, and the water was probably about 80 degrees. It was very warm, like pool water, like heated pool water, but it wasn't as hot as it normally is. Usually it's closer to like 100 degrees with the water running. Sometimes it even gets up to like 108. So yeah, it wasn't like hot tub temperatures last night when we got in, but we took a dip in that other tub a couple of times, and it was so hot, like after 5 minutes you had to get out because it was too hot. it wasn't hot enough to like make your skin red, but it definitely was like, whew, this is hot. It was like a quick dip in and dip out type deal. It was like the reverse polar plunge or something. I don't know. That tub is good for that. It gets real hot. But yeah, the blue tub, they have the ability to turn the water on and off. So it can cool off a little bit when the water is not on. Not quite sure why somebody would want to. I mean, unless they were sitting in the water all day. But yeah, I don't think that's desirable to go out there and sit in the water all day. Some people are just weirdos, I guess. I don't know. Some people like it being bathwater. I guess it's a good thing that you can kind of adjust the temperature. Okay, we're almost to Lovelock. We got 5 miles left. 65 miles to Fernley, 97 miles to Reno. Wave lens. Can't even take a drink of my Celsius without the truck being like, I can't see your face. In order to not buy a meal that costs $12 a person and up in Reno, Jared and I stopped at Walmart this morning and grabbed a bunch of stuff. And we brought a few items from home too. So for food items, we ate our bagels. We had 2 bagels. We ate those this morning. So tomorrow morning's probably going to be cottage cheese and fruit. Probably pineapple or peaches. I don't know. And then, let's see here. In the cooler, we've got like 7 or 8 pops, I think. All like diet pops. Some with caffeine, some without. And usually I just get like Shasta at Winco because it's the cheapest, and I'll just get like 1 12-pack a week just to add to my collection. So I have something besides water, but I have a 3-gallon bottle of water in the front. So Dobby and I have plenty of water. I just restocked my Circle Pods, so I've got 2 Circle Cups with me. So I've got lots of opportunity for water, and then 2 water bottles for little Tiny here. And let's see here, what else? We bought 2 bags of teriyaki Great Value beef jerky, like the big bags. One for Jared's car, one for mine. So we each have jerky to snack on. We brought some cheddar cheese from home. We had a big brick that I divided into like 4 sections and put half of it in the freezer. So I took the last bit of what was in the fridge because I didn't want it to start molding, and I didn't think that Grady would notice it was in there and use it. So I figured, cheese is a good option as a snack with crackers. So I bought some crackers. I bought some like Great Value like Cheez-Its, and then I got Jared a box of the chicken and a biscuit crackers. I got a bag of oyster crackers and like 8 single serve like microwavable cups of soup where you like pop the tin off and put the little plastic piece on top to keep it from spilling if you don't maneuver it correctly. Got a few more bananas. We've got oatmeal. We've got like instant oatmeal packets and peanut butter. Winco peanut butter for the win. Best peanut butter ever. We've got instant coffee and coffee creamer that I made earlier in the week. I didn't want it to have to get dumped because it's usually like that jar is, I make a quart jar or whatever, and it's good for a week, and then you got to be done with it after that because it doesn't have preservatives in it. So I brought that along, and we've got a small selection of instant rice, and I packed 3 cans of chicken and a small selection of instant noodles. So we've got microwave popcorn and pistachios to snack on. Oh, and I cut up a huge ass watermelon last night. So we've got a huge bowl of watermelon to snack on too. I left half of it at the house. Actually, we ate like a quarter of it last night, and I think all 3 of us were kind of watermeloned out at that point. But I put a quarter of it in the freezer, and then I left a quarter of it in the refrigerator for Grady to eat while we were gone, and then I put the last quarter of it in the cooler. So yeah, we've got a little bit of a variety of items that we can eat that we won't have to pay for, that were just really inexpensive meals. So neither Jared or I should have to buy a whole lot this week in the next 3-4 days as far as food items go. So here's our little bit of construction that we're having to drive through today. Lovelock is currently working on repairing part of the road here where the bridge is, and if I remember correctly, once we get outside of Lovelock, then the construction is over. So there's really not a whole lot of construction in this area. And let's see, as soon as we get off the bridge, it's done with. I think there was some construction in Reno last week. Oops. Where you going, babes? You gonna get in the right lane? You're gonna stay in the left lane? What are you doing? Nobody knows. Tesla drives itself. Tesla gonna do what the Tesla gonna do. Yay! Tesla says time to get over. Meow. Excuse me. End work zone. California Trail, historic route. The fields out here in Lovelock are so green, it's so pretty. Big Meadow Ranch. So 2 of the geological features that I think are kind of cool in this area are called the Humboldt Sink and the Fernley Sink, and I'm going to point them out when we drive by them. It's basically a really low-lying basin where the water from the mountains around it drains into during the thaw season and when we get heavy rains. Very alkali. This looks like white sand, essentially. And there's not as many sagebrush plants and grasses and tumbleweeds. I don't know what they call them. Sagebrush plants, I think. So it takes us a little bit longer to get to Reno when we're going 65, but it's really an energy saver because then we can get all the way out there and still have energy. Like, we're not trying to, we're not rolling into the charger with like 2% remaining or 1% remaining. And that's really the best way to do it. Trailer. That's not good. I feel weird about leaving my kid behind. I know that he's capable. So I'm not trying to stress about it too much. I texted him good morning. I made sure that he fed the dog and the cat for me. Told him to have some breakfast and get started on his schoolwork. Right, that time. Poor little shaky Jake. You okay? What? Oh my. Are you okay? What is it? Little tiny Doppers guy. Did the sweatshirt fall on you and scare you? Are you getting cold? You want to go snuggle with Mommy Blankie? Get it, Ty, get it. Get it. Don't jump back there, it's okay. You can go back there, it's okay. Doppers. Is this in your way? Do you want me to move that for you? He says, thank you, Mommy. Thank you, Mommy. Struggle bus. He says, just want to lay on this soft blankie back here. Big yawn. He's tired. He was up all night long crying. Yeah, that little bozo. He missed Daddy so much. And last weekend I was considering going out to Reno. And I needed to charge up in Winnemucca regardless. Because I knew we were having some cloudy days and we needed a battery backup. So, to potentially pump energy into the EcoFlow if we didn't have enough power coming in from the sun. So, I went to town and tried to car camp overnight, and I didn't make it the entire night because this bozo wouldn't settle down because he was so upset because Daddy wasn't there. So I had a repeat of that last night, and he would not settle down. I kept telling him, Daddy's in the car next to us. Daddy's sleeping in that car over there. You're just fine. You can see him in the morning. He was climbing all over the inside of the truck, trying to pull down the window covers. And I finally text Jared after about like 40 minutes of trying to calm him down. I was just like, you know what? Maybe he just wants to sleep with Daddy. So I asked Jared to come get him. And, this morning I called Jared and woke him up. And he said Tabby had cried all night. So apparently he missed his mommy after all. He was just having issues. I don't think that he's used to sleeping in the car. Maybe as we continue to do it, he'll become more accustomed to it. I don't know. He's used to being in the car a lot, but he's not used to sleeping in the car, like being in the car overnight, I guess. Even though he did it for like 2 weeks with me and it was fine. Daddy was like at work, and I think he comprehended because we were dropping Daddy off at work. So he wasn't crying like, where's Daddy? I don't know. Maybe it's just he can't sleep at the dog park because he's so stressed thinking that he's going to miss all the animals that walk by in the middle of the night. Which there's not a lot of them that do that. Most people that come through with their dogs are, walking their dogs outside during check-in, or, walking their dogs outside before they leave the next day. So it's usually not a thing in the middle of the night. There's not usually a bunch of people outside in the parking lot at night. It's pretty quiet. I mean, there was got another dust devil on the side of the highway here. I don't know if the camera is picking it up or not. I can't really tell. The screen is really dark because it's so bright. And it's gone. Yeah, for whatever reason, he just had a ton of anxiety last night and couldn't sleep. Oh, that's dusty. Or dusty. Windy. Wind kind of shook the car. It must have drove right through that dust devil. Yeah, I'm just trying to pay down my debt a little bit this summer and try to maybe come up with some money for Christmas. That's why I'm doing some DoorDash, trying to make a little bit of money, bring down my debt, and have some money for Christmas. Summertime's the time to do it. I'm not sure I'd want to drive back and forth during the winter. I'm not sure that I would want to drive through Reno during the winter at all. I mean, it's really not that bad. Winters out here are pretty mild, but on occasion it could be kind of nasty. So I guess if I'm going to do that thing, I'll really have to pay attention to the weather forecast. Because I'm not driving from Winnemucca to Reno to do DoorDash in the snow. We got more road work coming up here. This one was a little bit bigger than the last one. That last bit of construction was really short. That was just the bridge. The bridge needed to be repaired and had settled, and it wasn't flat or something. I don't know. There was a bump. So I don't know if they had to do repair to the bridge or they just resurfaced the road part of it. sink over here. It's on the left side of the road. So it's like east of I-80. And it just kind of stretches out. Goes south for a few miles, I think. Maybe like 10, 20 miles, I think. Tesla's like, okay, time to slow down, Leo. Entering the construction zone. Churchill County line. I think Churchill takes you here all the way to Fernley. I can't remember if Fernley is in Churchill County or not. But then once you get into Wadsworth, I think it's like Story County, and then when you get past the Indian Reservation, it's Washoe County, I believe. I guess we'll see. I don't remember for sure. Here's Humboldt Sink. I got a sandwich at the store too. I must have forgotten to mention that. I got one of those big, like 12-inch sandwiches that we could split in half, and a container of Pringles to go with it. Yeah, so we've got most of our meals covered for the next few days. Felt kind of bad when the bill was like $80, but to be honest, I probably bought enough soup to get us by for like the next month for car camping. So I don't anticipate that all of it's going to be gone this week. And not really anticipating that we'll stop at Winco this week, because I don't think that there's anything that I need to buy. I'd have to double check my list, but if anything, it'd probably just be a couple of those freezer meals for Grady. But I could probably get by and not closes until next week. I probably don't need to go to Winco at all this week. Here's more of the Humboldt Sink. You should be able to see more of it now. Because of the road curves. And heads a little bit more west instead of going south. Looks like playa dust, like playa sand, because it's so alkali out here. So basically what causes that is when water, when water soaks into the soil, it leaves salt behind. That's what creates the white alkali soil. Not really sure I understand how all that works, especially since I thought that the water that fell from the sky was like salt-free. But all of this used to be a giant lake bed. Like back in the dinosaur days, this was all underwater. Now 95 South takes you to Fallon, and it also takes you to Las Vegas. And I think that that's one of the ways to get to the Great Basin National Park, like south of here. Fernley, 36 miles, 66 miles to Sparks, 69 to Reno. Why are you pulling over? What's going on? I wonder if he just had to take over there. I wonder what happened. I'd really like to have a little bit more money this Christmas. So yeah, that's why I'm out doing what I'm doing. Couldn't find a job that really seemed like it was going to be worth my time in Winnemucca. And maybe that'll change. Maybe I'll find something that I can do part-time right in town when the weather gets nasty. Maybe I'll be able to find something. Oops, where'd it go? Right here.
The car that the police were pulling us over. Do you want to reply?
That's hilarious. I didn't see any police lights at all.
Sorry, did you want to reply to that one?
Yes.
What's the message?
That's hilarious. Did you see police lights? I didn't.
I got that hilarious. Did you see police lights? Ready to send. Okay, it's sent.
Okay, we are actually we are south of the Black Rock Desert now. So technically when you get to like Lovelock area, you're south of the Black Rock Desert. However, the road shifts and goes like south. I-80 goes south for quite a ways. So, it's further out now. So it's probably close to like 100 miles north of us. But it's directly north of us now. I'm not sure if there is a road that cuts through all these mountains to get up there from here. As far as I know, the best route is Pyramid Lake Road. I think that's 447, but I don't remember for sure. So dusty. I don't understand what they're doing over there. Why is there so much dust? Crazy. They're widening it. Because 2 lanes is just not wide enough, apparently. Putting down a new shoulder. Maybe they had to make the shoulder wider, and that's why they did that. So that there's actually a breakdown lane. Humboldt Sink. Going up in elevation just slightly. Humboldt Sink continues on further, but it's like southwest of the highway, so you can't really see it anymore. Kind of tucks in between a couple of mountain ranges out in the distance. See, we've got a little bit more clouds in the sky than we did earlier. I think Jared's probably going to drive us over to Planet Fitness so we can get showered. Need to brush my teeth. And my hair is a little knotty from being in the hot springs last night. What the hell? Thinks it wants to like go around people, but Jared's got the speed set to 65 max, so then when it starts attempting to pass the semi-truck in front of it, he's got to reel it in and be like, nope, right, shake it off, shaky Jake, get it, I love you, handsome boy, yes, mommy put his bestest. What the hell? Hey, you're blocking their view, boy. It's like, I just want to sit up here and get a suntan, mommy. It's cold back there, he says. 69 is too cold for me, mommy. Get you some water as soon as we stop, guy. You had water earlier. It either got drank or it got spilled. It's dry down there, so I think it must have gotten drank. Yeah, we really need to get some of this debt paid off so that we can throw some more money into the property. So that's kind of where we're at right now, just trying to make some extra money. Chicken face, both of them. Just gotta sit right next to my tablet. The butt's practically hanging off the side of the dash there, buddy. I hope you don't fall. Because of the fires around Reno right now, they're offering overtime. They were not offering overtime for a bit there. They basically told anyone that is affected by the fire, you know, they're able to take time off right now, but if they can, they're asking that they come in. If you're, you know, displaced or whatever and you need to take time off, then you can take time off. But if you're not affected by it, they're asking people to come in and work overtime. I asked him if he needed to like sign up in advance or if he could just come in and work. I think he's just planning on showing up to work. He said, I don't think that they'll have any issue with it if I just show up and work. 12 hours overtime gets us a little bit extra money. Plus, if I'm working, then I've got some money to work with too. I think over the last month I've paid off like $500 worth of credit card debt, so that's good. Got 3 different cards paid off completely. There's a big solar farm here on the right-hand side of the road. I think it's Southwest Energy. Ray pointed it out to us a couple of times when we were driving them back and forth to Reno. Stretch. So because of the hot spring here, just outside Nightingale, the property was purchased and a geothermal plant was built there. So there's not technically a public hot spring. Now, at night, if you drive through here, especially during the winter, you can see like the steam rolling off of the hot spring. I don't know if you'll be able to see it right now because it's 96 degrees and probably won't be able to see it, is my guess. Usually it's the other side of the highway that you would see it on anyway. Heading eastbound, you'd have a better view of it because it's a little bit closer. I remember the first time I saw that sign, I was like, cool, there's hot springs right along the highway. Let's stop there. Let's go get in this, let's go soak for a bit. No, there's nothing there, unfortunately. It's all like fenced off. It's private property. You can't get over there. 16 miles to Fernley, 50 miles to Reno. Now in the next few minutes here, you'll be able to see the Fernley sink. And again, that's just a low-lying area around Fernley that all the, like, Fernley is kind of in a little bit of a bowl. It's in a little bit of a dip. But there's hills all around it. Wadsworth and Fernley are kind of in like a low-lying area. But around it is like if you head north, you're going up in elevation. If you go west, you're heading up in elevation. If you go east, you go up in elevation a little bit, but not a ton. And the same goes with south. If you go south, you're going up in elevation. Mountains in every direction. The only reason why there's no mountains to the east is because it's like the highway is situated in this low-lying plain. And I can see the Fernley sink off in the distance. Tesla thinks it just needs to change lanes. I'm sure there's some kind of rhyme and reason to it. May not know. Jared's convinced that he's going to save all this money on his insurance, being on full self-driving as much as possible. Bye-bye, Lil Ford. And here's the Fernley sink. It looks like it's water. It's white sand. had like a massive monsoon in this area, it would just all be underwater. It's crazy. Sometimes the rain is so bad that comes through like the Reno Sparks area that they'll have like mudslides going through the canyon. And they have to close off the highway. No, apparently the Fernley Sink is a very popular place to get out of your car and like arrange rocks and the format of words. I've seen a lot of that out at the Bonneville Flats too, out by Salt Lake City. Don't understand why people do that kind of thing. I thought you were supposed to leave no trace and not like touch shit, but maybe I'm wrong. The Bonneville Flats, you'll actually see like tire marks where people like drove out into the sand. Not much of it out here. Now we're going into Lyon County. I did see tire marks go into the median here, but I don't think that was purposeful. I think that they might have slid off the road. Snowstorms that we had, and we do have a little bit of water here on the side of the road. Must have rained out here recently. Oh, the birds are happy. Jared's going to be sad that I didn't get very much of this energy drink. He's probably tired as hell after listening to Dobby cry all night. Poor little kitty booty. You're like, that's my booty, mommy. Proper touch. He scooted up so his butt's not hanging off the edge of the dash anymore. Did you hear that sigh? He did that last night. He was so frustrated. He's like, I can see we're not going anywhere. So he's like plopped down right on top of me. He's like, it was so cute. Yeah, I know. You was a tired guy. You was up all night crying. Well, you chicken face bozo. That little chicken face, I know so. He's the cutest bozo. That tiny little cutie booty dabbers guy. But it's bestest guy. He doesn't even try. Byron Center, Michigan. Woo! Van Erden. I was like, why does that name sound familiar? Michigan represent. I love it when I see a truck all the way out here that's affiliated with West Michigan. I get so excited about it. You're a long ways from home, guy. Probably making its way over to the playa. Now, once we get into Fernley here, I think we might see a backup for the Wadsworth exit, just because I do believe that's the way you take to get up to the Black Rock Desert and Gerlach from this area. Spit water out all over the place over there. I've got an ice cover for the top of theirs. I'm trying to decide whether I want to get a topper or like a cover for my truck bed. A topper would be kind of nice because we could like set up a bed back there, and then I could sleep in the bed. Like, we have a nice camping bed that's got a blow-up mattress and everything. That would be perfect for the truck bed. And I can open and close the truck bed by remote, so it'd be barely an inconvenience to get up in there. Like, I wouldn't be able to extend like the step or anything like that. I would just have to like sit down on the tailgate and scoot into the truck bed or whatever. What you doing, little Tesla? What you doing? You gonna get back in front of me, or you gonna go around this garbage truck? Guess we're going around the garbage truck. I was saving up points to use them for like a discount on a topper or bed cover. But if I'm going back and forth to Reno every week now and I'm actually driving on 80, it might be beneficial for me to go back to that, using my points for the hands-free driving. I don't know. I really don't need it. I feel like it's pretty hands-off as it is. I don't really have to steer a whole lot. The car does the steering for me in most circumstances. Like, if it can't see, like, the lanes clearly because of a camera issue or a lighting issue, or because the lane is not right because they're doing work on it, then I'll have to steer myself. But if I'm driving down the highway, I don't have to generally do a whole lot of steering unless I'm changing lanes. Now with hands-free driving, all you have to do is hit the turn signal and it'll change lanes for you. Like, you don't even have to touch the wheel at all. So that's kind of cool. I'm surprised that there's not a sign saying, hey, turn here for Burning Man or turn here to get to Gerlach. It's like, if you know, you know. Like in Grand Rapids, they would have had that shit marked off. Maybe the reason why they don't have it is because you're passing through the Indian reservation to get through there, and they don't want people going. Maybe the Indian reservation doesn't want people going through the Indian reservation, and that's why there's not signage. I don't know. That's one of the things that I noticed when we went through on the west side of the lake to go up to Sand Pass, when we were looking at property up by Pyramid Lake. On the west side of the lake, there is signage for the reservation, like water access and all that for Pyramid Lake. But on the east side of the lake, where I went through most recently, and I went up to Gerlach, there's no signage because it's all Indian reservation. So, like, the people that live on the Indian reservation, they know how to access the lake. So they don't have any signage on the east side of the lake at all on how to get to the lake. Coming into Story County. Indian Lake Reservation. Pyramid Lake Reservation. I don't know why I said that. Indian Lake Reservation. Washoe County. Yeah, the reservation is part of Washoe County. And then once you get past the reservation, I think it's Story County. Washoe County only takes a very small section of I-80. Very small slice of highway for Washoe County, because it's like the way that they have it set up. It's, I don't know, it's weird. Maybe it's because the cities expand so far north and south. Like, Gerlach is in Washoe County, and that's like an hour north of here. It's easily like 70 miles. Maybe even 100 miles, I don't remember. And it's very sparsely populated on the reservation. They have a lot of land up there, and they don't have so many residents. They do have the city of Nixon. I don't remember how many residents are there. I think it's over 1,000. But it's a very small, like, rural town. They have a small amount of residents in the, like, actual city limit. Wadsworth Rest Area. It is so weird to me when I drive by this and I see there's like a house right next to the rest area, and it just makes me think, like, which was there first? Like, if the county decided to put a rest area right next to my house, I don't think I'd be thrilled about it. You know what I mean? I would not be happy. Okay, here's McCarran Canyon. This is my favorite part about the drive. The last 30 miles going into Sparks is just so beautiful. You got the Truckee River on the west side of the road here. I'm sorry, on the south side of the road. To the left, to the left. And there's just a lot of turns on the road because you're going around the canyon. Painted Rock, half a mile. And this is the industrial area. You've got, like, I want to say there's a geothermal plant in this area. I want to say that there's maybe a coal plant in this area, like a coal mine, or like a power plant, maybe, is the word I'm looking for. I think there's a power plant out in this area. Plus, there's like a bunch of mines in this area. Probably not mining for coal, mining for gold and silver. Lithium as well. And then there's a couple of small towns out here. Mustang's really small. I don't know how many residents live there. Blackwood has got like over 1,000 residents. And they're basically right along the water. See those towns until you get past Tesla, though. It's the exit for USA Parkway and the Reno Industrial Center. Reno Tahoe Industrial Center, Industrial Park. Once you pass that, then you see McCarran and Lockwood, I believe, before you get into Sparks and Reno. I think going from Tesla to Reno is my favorite part of the drive. But yeah, driving through the canyon is really pretty. Driving along the water. All of it's very scenic, though. I love the drive out here. It's beautiful. I don't mind driving this once a week. And then being able to drive from USA Parkway and the Reno Tahoe Industrial Center into Reno a couple of days a week is just really beautiful. And if I'm lucky, the traffic is not too bad. I think it was right before school started when I started door dashing. It might have been the same week that school started. I don't remember for sure. I wasn't really hitting a whole lot of like school zone traffic first thing in the morning. So I guess we will see what happens tomorrow morning, because I don't think I'm going to DoorDash tonight. I think I'm just going to chill tonight. Jared and I will hang out this afternoon until he's got to go to work, and then he'll go to work, and then I will get on the free charger. Well, we're gonna drop off the truck at the free charger, and Jared and I will just hang out, drive around Reno until it's time for him to go to work, and then he'll drop me off at the truck, and I'll be able to have dinner or whatever. I'll probably bring some snacks with me. He works at 6, but he'll want to be back over in that area about 4 o'clock, and it's 1:30 right now, so. He doesn't like to battle rush hour traffic on I-80 because there's frequently accidents. We really don't like being in the situation where we're late for work. Jared is very, very, very devoted to Elon Musk. It's kind of creepy sometimes, in my opinion. We got USA Parkway in 2 miles. So the truck does a very good job of steering through all this. It's got the knack to say, hey, are you there? Keep your hand on the steering wheel. But it does a very good job steering itself. Like, it stays in the lines perfectly fine. Every once in a while, like, I'll give an example. When I was driving 89 around Lake Tahoe a few weeks ago, at night, it was having a little bit of difficulty handling like the change in the speeds going around the turns, and then it had a little bit of difficulty with staying in the lane there. But for the most part, it does a pretty good job. And all I have to do is watch for that nag in my peripheral to make sure that I catch it, so it knows that I'm paying attention. So the only benefit to getting like the hands-free driving would be essentially I don't get the nag to say, hey, keep your hands on the steering wheel. And it's $50 a month if you don't have points to cover that cost. So it could be, I could use it as like a business expense or whatever. 439 USA Parkway. Grady's a pretty chill kid. So once again, I feel bad about leaving him, but he's 16. He can make do on his own. If there's an emergency, we have a neighbor right next door. He can contact me and get a hold of me if he needs to. And like he's got plenty of food there. He's got several options. He can have cereal, he can have ham and cheese sandwich, he can have peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He's got bagels, he's got muffins, he's got bananas and grapefruits. He's got ramen. And then he's also got these Kevin's Natural meals that I've been buying. I can get them discounted at Winco for even cheaper than I get them at Walmart. And that basically is sous vide chicken with sauce, so that all he has to do is put it in a bowl and heat it up in the microwave. Because I told him, just take it out the day that you want to eat it and stick it in the refrigerator and let it thaw. And then you just heat it up in the microwave. Very easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Huh. He's like, nope, I don't want to be in that lane. I want to be in this lane. Because I can take a left in this lane too. There's a lot of people parking in this parking lot overnight. Right here at the edge of the hotel, the intersection of USA Parkway and Electric Avenue, aka USA Parkway and Britton Drive. It's Electric Avenue on one side, Britton Drive on the other side. USA Parkway. So there's a lot. This intersection gets extremely congested from like 4 to 6 p.m. In the morning, it gets really congested too, Monday through Friday. Not so much on the weekends, so. So are we going straight or are we turning? Because I'm not seeing a turn signal at all. I'm assuming that we're going straight. Very interesting. Nope, we're gonna turn with no turn signal. What the hell, Tesla? You're a jerk. Why you do that? So many semi-trucks. And we've got a lot lizard living in her van over here, but I don't see the van, so maybe she moved on. There was like a 70s or 80s Econoline van that was parked over here for several weeks with a woman living in it. And it's gone. She must have moved on. She was sticking stickers, at least we think it was her, stickers onto the Tesla chargers here saying one night only and a phone number or suck and fuck phone number. It was crazy. We saw one day, you see all the Teslas parked here? So many Teslas. Every charger is being used. Really? Every fucking charger is being used. Looks to me like they're all being used.
Yeah, I'm gonna find one for you. Let me check over here.
Okay. Vinos. Their wings were pretty good. Super overpriced though. me a spot. I'm not in the spot straight. It's not gonna work? What the fuck? I knew it. Not gonna work. Sorry about your luck. We're here? Maybe? There's a cord over there that's hung up, that's not even being used. So this guy in the corner is not even charging. Unbelievable. Three white Teslas in a row. I don't think that one works. I don't think so. I think I've used it before and it doesn't work. We can try. I come back into the spot and you can try to plug it in, but I don't think it's going to work. Or, no, I'll pull in. Can you not, please? Would you stop it? Gosh. You get so much anxiety when I'm trying to park and it just annoys the crap out of me. Poor guy on the right side is not going to be able to get in and out of his truck. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't think this one works. Charging station not detected.
Right away, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and push the gates and you're trying to pick your husband up and whatever paperwork you gotta fill out, hide all your fucking shit.
Okay.
I'll just go right through. It'll just lead me right through.
Babes. Question. Am I gonna meet you over by like the original like entrance to the
So you're gonna
The
go
main
right
entrance?
through the gate, And if you want to try to follow me, you're going to have to stop though and tell them and show them your ID.
Yes.
Tell them that you're here to pick up your husband or drop off with your husband or
Right.
whatever is the simplest fucking thing you can say. They're not gonna want to see your video camera, nobody.
Yeah, I know. I'll shut that off.
They might be upset that you have a dog, but you're just getting your husband real quick.
Right. I understand that, but
So-
where am I going to meet you at? The main entrance? Where all the chargers are?
There is under construction, so we'll have to investigate it. There are a primary, yes, or we can hopefully get you charging right away. There should be an opening. If there's not,
I guess what
have
you're gonna have to
backups
do
and
is you're gonna
backups
have
and
to go off.
backups, and I'll have to show you where
You're going to have to communicate with me beforehand. I cannot pick up my phone while I'm driving.
Word.
So you need to tell me where it is that I'm going to go.
I'll
Either
be
that or
going-
you need to pull off to the side and wait for me.
I'll be going nice and slow. I guess go to the main entrance, whatever that means to you.
Okay, the main entrance.
Good luck.
Where I used to drop you off at previously.
See?
Okay. Dobby, sit down, dude. And time to shut the show down, yo. Nice seeing you again. Bye.